Man, it's been a minute. It's been a minute. Here we are in week 3 of a 5-week professional military education course. And today was the day this class officially became my favorite class. This group of people. How did they do it? Are they the best? So far they might be. They might be. They are most of my classes have finished. So this is what we do. In the squadron, we have about 11 different flights. A flight is comprised of 14 different individuals. You have 14 different Air Force specialty careers. That's what AFSC stands for. Um, so what I would say is if anybody is scrolling through and you have like a teenager or a college student that doesn't know what they want to do with their life, um, you might want to recommend them to go ahead and commission or enlist in the Air Force. What's the difference? Commission is from the President of the United States of America. And enlistment is you go to the recruiter and say, hey, I want to sign up. You take the oath. They put you on the bus and they send you to Lackland. I think that's where they do their basic training at. And so that happens. You get off and you get them, put them into the military. Um, but back to why this is my favorite job. This is my favorite job because you can basically do what you want. What's up, Diego? I hope y'all having a good day. Thank you, Lazy Worm. I'm not really talking about much. I'm just getting off of work and just came here to talk because I saw a memo the other day. Hey, Cookie VR, and hey, your name. Um, and so yeah, I saw a memo, a military memo. They were basically saying in the memo, Spanish. I like you, Diego. Diego says Spanish or English. My father worked for the military. Lazy worm. That's cool. When you see him next time, tell him thanks for his service. Um, it's a brotherhood. It is a thank you, Cookie VR. I appreciate that. I appreciate all y'all support. But there's no place like the military. I already know. I'm at year 17, and right now, just because I'm not promoting anymore, I have to get out at year 20, and I already know it's gonna be hard to leave the military. Like just this way of life, the benefits, the the sense of camaraderie of the military. Joshua, the military. I'm gonna say this: it's not easy for a dude to look like me right now. It's not. It's not. I am one of 2 African American males at my job that is an instructor. I have a person in leadership that is African American male as well, but there's only literally 2 dudes that are teaching, that are actually doing the job. Um, in the Air Forces, in the United States Air Forces School for Captains, it's called Squadron Officer School. They go there for 5 weeks. Um, Out of all the instructors, there's 4 squadrons, and then they have staff. Um, but out of all of those people, there are a total of, let me see, me, Malik, Smooth, newcomer. There's a total of four black men. Wait, me, Malik, Smooth, newcomer. Yeah, four black men in the entire school. Now think about this. I mean, that's probably percentage wise. That might be close to the percentage of black officers, but nevertheless, yeah, that's the situation. So sometimes it can be hard in the military. Thank you for that thumbs up. It can be hard in the military right now, especially when you have. Um, I'm gonna be careful how I say this, especially when you have a polarizing climate where, like, the kind of the guidance is basically celebrate meritocracy. You know, I'm gonna use their words. My teacher was in the military for 12 years, and and then he's got a money face emoji. So, contrary to popular belief, the military, you can make more money doing other things in the military. But I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't gonna hold you. The military is doing pretty good by me. I'm not gonna lie. I would be lying if I said they weren't. I mean, you can make six figures in the military. Ask me how I know. Um, my grandpa was in the Marines for about 40 or more. Whoa! Is your grandpa still alive, Cookie? That's amazing. 40 years. I feel him though. I feel him. Cause it's a love. I'm telling you. And I know your grandpa, after serving 40 years, I know he cried like a baby. Oh, I know he cried like a baby. Oh man. Um, I think when it's all over, it's gonna be a lot of emotions for me. Um, Lazy Worm says that's cool. It is, man. 40 years is. So was he like a general? Because typically the people that serve that long are general officers. Like the so General what's his name? General Charles Brown, the guy that just got relieved of duty, I guess, fired, whatever, by Colonel. I mean, by Colonel. He got fired by President Trump. Um, that guy, he had served in the military for 40 years, and he was a subject matter expert on all things in the Pacific realm. So he was the guy for the job. I mean, he really was the guy for the job. He was a I think he was a combatant commander in that region, in the Pacific region. So everything, like, China's the big deal right now. We focus on China. Like, everything about that man's career was China focused. Like, he was the best guy for the job. And he got fired. Um so as a black man, like, my record is nowhere. Like, you look at his record, um, General Brown, like he's killed it everywhere he's been at. He's been the best of the best. I'm nowhere near that. And so for me, looking at him, seeing that he was doing his job, he was being he was being every he was everyone's officer. And on my social media, I even changed, like, I changed my page, my picture on my social media to his picture because he got fired during Black History Month. That's another thing. This man was the first black chief of the staff. No, he was the first black chief of the staff of the Air Force. And I think he was the second chairman of the Joint Chief of Staff. Second black one, because Colin Powell back in the day was the first one. But he fired that man during Black History. Hey, I appreciate that, Cookie. I appreciate that. Don't feel like you have to, and thank y'all for them other thumbs up. But imagine that. Like, this is what make it hard in the military, because like you can be the best, but people will often not appreciate your best. Often they will undermine, they will undersell it. I had a dude look. So I just did a promotion ceremony um for one of the other black officers that's in the leadership at the school. I did his promotion ceremony to colonel. And so it was my pleasure to do it. And I went all out. I had my wife helping out. I had one of the sisters from my church helping out. I had a lot of people helping out. And then um so the guy that I did his promotion ceremony, he was like, it was amazing, and he was just blown away by everything. So the guy whose promotion ceremony was, he was like, I did a great job. But then I went back to my boss, who is underneath the guy that I did his promotion ceremony, and he tells me that um he heard from a couple of people that things didn't go so well, and that I had to get a lot of help, and like a lot of, I don't know, a lot of stuff that he just made up, because he honestly didn't know, and I didn't tell him that I was the POC for the promotion ceremony, because I don't know, I felt like it wasn't duty related, but that was me being a rebel. In hindsight, probably shouldn't have did that, but whatever. Um, I felt like I did this great job, and then he just kind of like poo pooed on my parade. Then I get a text message from this cat like later. He's like, "Hey, we got Chiefs. There's another person on the leadership team. She requested me by name. She was like, whoever made that video for the Colonel's promotion ceremony, I want him to make my video." And so, um, you know, I guess I did a good job. She was like, everything was amazing. It was just, it was so amazing. She had nothing but good things to say, and she asked me to help her. And um, it was just crazy because like he said I didn't do a good job, and then he turned around and came back and asked me to help out on another leadership team promotion. You know what I said? See, y'all ain't my regular followers. I know people don't really know me up in here because um whatever. But my crazy tale, normally what I wanted to say was like, nah, go get the dude that y'all said was the officer of the year. Ask him to help out. He could do it. That's what I wanted to say. Um, but what I said, in spite of like the bad treatment, I said, yeah, sure, I'd love to help out. Like when the chief asked me to help her, I was like, sure, I got you. And she was like, thank you so much. I was like, Chief, you don't understand. I love doing video. Thank you for asking me. And so, uh, shout out to her for telling me that I did a good job on the video. I mean, on the promotion ceremony, because some people was hating, you know, and that's just how it be sometimes. And that's like just kind of like one scenario. Like imagine somebody tells you that you wasn't that good, and then they come back and ask you like 2 weeks later, like, hey, can you help out for this promotion ceremony? But I wasn't that good. If I wasn't that good, why would you ask me to do another one? Does that make sense? It don't make sense to me, but it makes sense in somebody's head. But these are just some of the ways that um that the military can like grind, and not it is not the military. People in the military can grind your gears, because in terms of my job, like it's like 6 o'clock. It's 6 o'clock in Alabama. I just left my office at like 5 o'clock. Was I doing work there? No, not really. I was doing something for my next job, but But the thing is like I look around the parking lot and like let me see how many cars. It's like I was like the last person here, and I ain't saying that to brag or whatever, because okay, you the last person there. I mean, you know whatever, but I frequently stay here longer than anybody, and like the dedication that I have, like I do it in spite of like what people say, because my leadership have been like, this is what they told me. I sat down. First of all, I had been asking my boss to have like a feedback session for the longest, and it was just kind of like yeah, and nothing. And so I just dropped it. I was like, okay, he might be one of them bosses that just ain't gonna do no feedback on your report. They're gonna say they did the feedback, but it ain't gonna happen. I've had that before. That's cool. But my thing is, what's the purpose of feedback? The purpose of feedback in any job is to improve performance. It's all about improving performance of that individual and improving the performance of the organization. And it will behoove you as a leader to give feedback as much as possible. Because if you have people that's not living up to your expectation, first of all, what is your expectation? You start with that. And then if a person is not meeting your expectation, what you owe them is feedback of, hey, this is what we set the expectation as, and this is how you're not meeting it. But this is how we can get better. That's the type of stuff that a good boss, I mean a decent boss, would give their subordinates. And that's kind of what you as an officer, as a leader, are supposed to do. But I couldn't get that. And then by the time I got it, it was like, yeah, so you in the bottom third. So we got a top tier of performers, we got a middle tier, and then we got the bottom third where you fall. And I was just like, oh really? So who else has done anything at the wing level? Nobody? Okay. Okay, cool, cool. It's those types of things where like the old saying that you gotta be twice as good, that saying have never rang more true. You have to be twice as good as the next person. And even when you twice as good, there's still a strong chance that you're not gonna get recognition, that you're not gonna get appreciation, that somebody gonna poo-poo on your parade. Strong chance. And that's what it's like as that's what my experience. I can't speak for everybody, but that has been my experience in the military. But ask me, do I love it? I do. I am so thankful for the opportunity to serve in this great United States Air Force. I'm so grateful. Like, I came into the Air Force doing a whole nother thing than what I'm doing right now. And I could be making a lot of money on the outside, a lot of money. But because I enjoy what I'm doing so much, I just like, it's not about the money. Cause like you could be making a lot of money but not enjoy what you do, you know? And I ain't saying I didn't enjoy what I did. I did. But I was having a good time doing what I was doing. And so rather than just leave, I said I'm gonna go ahead and stick around and I'm gonna see what happens. And I'm gonna see where it go. And my goal coming into the military, my first goal, I said before I even started and served my first day, was I want to retire as a '06, a officer with the sixth grade, which is a colonel. That for me was going to be a successful career. Now, what they've told me is that in '05, if you retire at the rank of '05 lieutenant colonel, which is one below colonel, that is a successful career. So now I find myself in the rank of '04, which is two below what I my original goal was. Now I'm at year 17. Typically, your colonels serve for 24 years. Um, but for me right now, they have something called, like, it's not called high year tenure. That's what it's called for enlisted, but it's something where, like, if you stop getting promoted, if the army, I mean, if the Air Force stops selecting you for promotion, then eventually you'll be separated. You'll be administratively separated. And so that's kind of where I'm at right now. Where, hey, if you don't promote to '05, you're gonna have to separate in the year 2028, which will put me at 20 years retirement eligible. It works out, but still, like, what if I didn't want to get out at 20 years? What if I wanted to serve 24 years? What if I wanted to serve 30 years? What if I want to do 35? Not an option. Not an option. Thank you for your service, but you got to go because you not what we need. We don't need a bunch of old majors. We need old colonels and old generals, and you not that, so you got to go. But the crazy thing is like, I feel like a lot of people, if that was their scenario, if that was their case, they would start giving less effort and they would start caring less. You know what I mean? If their effort level was up here when they felt like they had a chance to promote, but now it's like, you don't have a chance to promote. I feel like their effort level was like, would be just like, hey, I'm not going to try as hard and I'm just going to, finish my time and do what I need to. But I'm not built like that. That's the problem. I'm not built like that. It's my fault. Because, like, the way my mama raised me, the way my daddy raised me, it just it I cannot just go to a place just to say I went there, show up and get a paycheck and then leave. That's not me. I be going there. Thank you for the thumbs up. I go there and I'm like, well, uh, let me see what I can do today. Let me see what impact I can have. And that's so my goal switched from rank, all about rank, to how many people's careers I can impact, how many people I can help, like how many enlisted people can I encourage to become an officer. I have a special place in my heart for the young black enlisted men that come into the military. Um, and I try to get as many of them as I can. Get your education. They say the qualifications to become an officer in the Air Force is a bachelor's degree. Get your bachelor's degree. Go ahead. Don't don't accrue any debt. Stop trying to buy a fancy car, a Camaro or a Dodge Charger. Go ahead and put that money on something like a home, and go ahead and become a property owner. That's been my thing. Like, just trying to mentor and just trying to help people. Because a lot of people come to the military because they didn't have nothing going on at home. Me, I had something going on at home. I had a professional career, where I could go out there, open up a dental practice, and just start the meter going and just keep making money, keep making money, keep making money, keep making money. But I mean, money ain't everything. I feel like impact can give you more satisfaction than money. And so that's where I place my priority, honestly. But yo, how about this? Switching gears. How about somebody said they put out a memo, like a military memo, saying that military people shouldn't be using like social media. So I saw that and I was like, well, first, that sounds semi unconstitutional. There's this document called the Constitution. We take an oath to support and defend the Constitution, and that memo doesn't seem lawful. Thank you for your support. I'm just living. I appreciate that. I'm just living. Say thank you for your service. Um, but imagine that. Imagine somebody telling you you can't use social media. What you mean? I can't use social media for what? Like you shouldn't be on social media. Oh, okay. Now, like you have a lot of today's younger kids, they'll do TikToks and they'll do dances and trends in their uniform while they're on duty. To me, I think that is problematic because you're on duty and you should be doing your duty, not dancing and but on the other hand, I feel like doing that is also free recruiting from that individual. Like I think you want with today's generation, I think you want young people energetic and excited to serve, like doing those things on social media, because other people that's not serving, they like, yo, they lit up in the Air Force, they lit up in the Army. I feel like that's free recruiting, and we're also having problems recruiting. So what is the issue? Cookie VR says, I heard that people in the Navy, they'll jump off the aircraft carrier into the ocean for fun. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe. I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it, but that don't sound like fun to me. Jumping in the ocean. Like hopefully, like the carrier is like um at port and not like still going. Hey, welcome back, Lazy Worm. Um, yeah, hopefully it's not like, cause like if you jump off a carrier and the carrier is like going in the water, like moving, like how you gonna get back on there? That don't sound like a good time to me. Plus I don't like the water like that, honestly. But yeah, man, it's just been crazy because as a military member, I know that I'm programmed. I know that I'm conditioned. My father was an airplane rigger. Um, so Lazy Worm, did he serve in the Air Force or the Army? Which branch? Army. That's cool. That's what's up. That's what's up. Tell him thank you for his service if you get a chance. Um, but yeah, man, the reason I still like give my best and give my all is for the people. I love my job because I'm a major, right? So that's a '04 grade. And the school that I work at is for captains, which is a '03. And so there's a lot of difference. So '03 and '04, that don't seem like a big difference. But a lot of the officers that I'm working with, they've been in the military for like 4 years. They've been in for maybe 5 or 6. Me, I have been in for it'll be 17 years this year. And just like I can remember where I was when I went to the squadron officer school and my mentality. I came here and I totally did not care. Did not care at all. Like I don't even know how I passed, honestly. That's how I didn't care. Like I was out here having fun. There was like there was a bunch of like black officers here when I went, and I used to just be hanging out. We used to be having fun. We'd be going to the mall. Um, Hanging out and like not doing the work. Like there was reading assignments and all of that stuff. Okay. Lazy Worm says, should I go college or military? What I say is you got to do what's best for you, Lazy Worm. There's pros and cons to both paths. For me, it seems like people going to college now, so many times they end up doing something totally outside of their major, like not even associated. Do you have to go to college to be successful? I think that's an argument. That's an argument. Like that's debatable. It just depends. If you can get somebody to pay for your college, yeah, do that. But if you don't got have anybody to pay for it, look at what they're doing. The president just canceled income-based repayment. Income-based repayment means, hey, Mr. President, I currently owe 200 plus $1,000, but I have 6 kids. I'm talking about me. I don't owe anything. My wife does. I have 6 kids. Several of them have what do you call it? Special needs, and we're in an area where the education system, Montgomery, Alabama, they gutted the education system because they did not want to integrate. And so after they gutted the system, it's still trash till today. Integration was like back in the 60s, but it's still trash to this day. And so um, our best option was homeschool because one, I can't afford to send all of them children to private school. So I only have a small amount of money, but I have to pay back 200,000. Now, income-based repayment said, all right, since you're making this much and you have this much family, we think you should pay $150 a month. And so when you get rid of income-based repayment, I can't remember the other types. There's other types that can like decrease it a little bit more. Um, but what happens is you're gonna have people defaulting. They're not gonna be able to pay. Like that's what I'm looking at. I'm like, hold up, man, I'm sacrificing for the country right now. And my wife, because of the circumstance that kind of the military created by sending me down here, I can't make as much money as I would need to pay the full price for them student loans. And so now I'm getting punished. That don't seem right. But Gifted Me says the whole idea of creating the army was to help people, not to fight people. It just happened that sometimes it gets twisted. Um, so I don't know about that. I would say there was a point in our history, this country was where instead of calling it the Department of Defense, it was called the War Department. So I don't know about that, Gifted Me. Um, you might be right though. You might be right because I haven't looked. I don't know which time frame you're talking about. But you could be talking about like long, 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 like at the beginning of the history of armies in general. But like for Air Force, I mean America, I don't know about that. Cookie VR says, do you have to be like really, really good soldier to fly in the B-2 aircraft? Um, so let me address that question. Typically, I first I don't even know what a B-2 is. I know what a B-1 is. I don't know what a B-2 is. Um, I know what a B-52 is as a bomber. 1945 until now. Okay, all right. 1945, the army. So but the army is old. The U.S. Army is like way before 1945. The Air Force started like in 1948. So, and even the Air Force, I think back in 48 was like World War II. I think it was called the War Department as opposed to the Department of Defense. Um, yeah. Um, you don't have to be. Um, I'll say it like this, Cookie VR, to answer your question about do you have to be a good soldier. Um, Now I'm an airman, so the Air Force has airmen, the Army has soldiers. So I can't necessarily speak for the Army because honestly I don't know. But for the Air Force, I would tell you that the planes that are more technically demanding, typically they're looking for the better students. So like usually in a undergraduate pilot training, you will have like the best student. They will be the ones that will request to be fighter pilots because fighter pilots are what the Air Force. Oh, you said Northrop B-2 Spirit. Is that like the new bomber coming out, Cookie? Um, the B-2. I'm gonna have to look that up. Now, see, remember, I'm an instructor right now. I'm doing professional military education instructing. My normal job is airfield operations officer. So that means the people that's in charge of making sure the runway is good, making sure the navigational aids and radio equipment is good, and make sure air traffic control is flowing. But that's what I normally do. So in terms of like airplanes and flying, um, I don't know. I don't know the answer. Do you find Army as a whole? Gifted Me says, do you find Army as a whole now a mercenary, considering USA always helps Europe? So, let me reframe the question. I think you're asking, is the U.S. military functioning as like soldiers for hire? Um, and I would say no, if that was your question, getting me. Um, so the way that it's the way that it works is, the president creates a national security strategy, and um, the president is supposed to outline like U.S. interests, and um, we have allies and partners and coalitions, and so NATO is a um, what is it? I should know this. It's a treaty organization, North Atlantic Treaty Organization, and it is basically a coalition of countries that right now it seems like it's functioning to basically ensure the stability of Europe. Then you have Russia kind of opposing NATO, and NATO opposing Russia. So I don't know. It says butter, bread, hit. Okay, all right. Thank you. Dismiss as you were. Um, but yeah. So man, I love it. I love it, and I'm gonna continue to love it, and I'm gonna look back after it's over, and I don't think I will look back with regret. Uh, says, would you consider Army a business? A business in what sense is what I would say. I mean, we are in a business. The Army is in a business of um defending the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. That's the business. It's defense, business of defense. So yeah, I mean, in that regard, yeah. But it seems like you are kind of on a thing about where the army is existing just to make money and to build empires. That's what it seemed like. Uh, you kind of getting that, gifted. Am I right? Okay. Don't listen. Oh yeah, Cook. I wasn't. Sometimes you just gotta let people cook. You gotta let people be, and I'm gonna let them be because he giving me watch hours. So I appreciate you. Thank you for watching. About to do. Anyway, says, do you find the army worth its while through difficult training? So I'm in the Air Force. Um, I will say that it depends on what you value. What do you value? Like something that's given easy. Do you value that? I know, like I can take my kids for example. Like when I just give them stuff and they didn't have to work for it, and like they'll just tear it up. I bring something home, they'll tear it up. Don't care. But if they had to buy it, or like like if they were the ones that was responsible for saving up money to um to buy it, oh yeah, they're gonna take real good care of it. So absolutely. So I say that to just demonstrate that like the things that you work for and the things that you have to do and the things that cost a lot, we tend to value those things more. I get to me says, I admire soldiers, perhaps strictly because I never had a chance to be a soldier. Um, And it's okay. So B2 is the flying wing stealth. Do you stream every single day? No, I don't, Cookie. Right now, when I'm not teaching the class, I'll stream probably like every other day because I also do like other things on the side, like political stuff, and um I do like political satire and stuff like that. And then I also do sometimes like if I'm doing what you call that thing? Spark. I used to do like DoorDash and stuff. I would do that because sometimes you see some crazy stuff on DoorDash um, in Montgomery. People just be wilding. Like, I mean, I've had people come to the door like butterball naked and just like I don't know. It's sometimes people just be out their head, and so I don't know. I feel like if I got it, if not putting them on camera, obviously, because I'm gonna get banned. But I feel like to protect myself, like I didn't do anything. So if they say something happened, it wasn't me. Cause my viewers or I got video at least that show I ain't did none of that they said. Um yeah. So hey, um I'm at home now. So I thank y'all for watching. I gotta go in here because it's 6:48 and I ain't seen these kids all day. I ain't seen my old lady since this morning. So thank y'all for watching. If you like what you heard, subscribe. Check out some of the videos I got on the channel. You might like what you see. If not, God bless you. All right, see y'all.